Good afternoon, Miami. I want to thank you for being here on Friday with Farias. Again, this is Johnny Farias. I'm here with Community News Network. And today I bring you Marisol Zenteno. Did I say it right,
Yes,
Marisol?
that's correct.
She is running for the property appraiser, which is the person that sends you the notices of how much your house is worth, and that depends on how much you pay your taxes. So thank you for joining us again, and I'm happy to have her here. Marisol, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Johnny. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an amazing opportunity to speak with you today.
Not a problem. Well, Marisol, I do know who you are, but a lot of people out there that are listening on, they might not know who you are. So can you give us a little bit something about who you are, where you're from, and so on?
Sure. As you said, my name is Marisol Zenteno. I am from Dominican Republic. I was born over there, but grew up in New York City, much like a lot of our families. My parents migrated to New York. After that, I went back to the Dominican Republic. And lo and behold, I end up back in Miami, and I've been here for about 40 years now. I'm a graduate of Miami-Dade College with a master's in public administration from FIU, where I'm currently an adjunct. And just a little bit more about me and my professional career. I am a state general appraiser, which is the highest designation in the state of Florida for appraisers. I did that as an independent contractor for about 25 years. And then after that, I transitioned into the public sector at the Office of the Property Appraiser. So I've been working there for about 10 years now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
see, that I did not know about
Oh,
you.
you did not?
No, so basically, the office you're running for, you've already worked in that office
Yes,
already.
yes. So I've been saying in my stump speech that I'm one of those rarities of somebody that works at the office already or is doing the job, seeking to lead the organization that they work at.
Well,
Yes.
that definitely helps out a lot.
Yes, I hope so. I've been there for, like I said, about 10 years in different capacities and different departments. So I've learned all the different areas of the office. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running.
Okay. Well, not being you mentioned that, and you're in the hot seat now. Well, I could imagine all the questions that are going on through the viewers right now. Like, well, then, Marisol, why has our taxes gone up so much? Why are we paying more and so on? So tell us, in what you've seen in 10 years, why has they gone up? And you now, if you plan to lead the property appraiser, what can you do to help us, either lower our taxes or at least maintain them where they stop going up to where people got to move out?
So that's something that that is the first question that people say, are you going to lower my taxes? And there's two things. And one of my platforms, Johnny, is on education. A lot of people don't understand. They think that we set the taxes. The Office of the Property Appraiser sets the value of
Right.
the property. The county commission and the mayor set the millage rate, which is the
There you
fact.
go.
Yes, which is the factor according to how much they're going to need for their budget. And depending on the budget, which has been right now is almost $13 billion. Okay. And it's been increasing. They adjust that millage rate. And that's how you get to pay your taxes. So people love us when their property values are high because you don't want
The
your
house
value
to be diminished.
to be diminished, right? But you don't want to pay high taxes. What I always say is like that millage rate is the key right there, and that's why, like,
Ah,
yeah,
okay,
remember,
okay.
yeah, during the mayoral campaign, that was like one of the huge focus point that they left the millage rate the same as the previous year, but because you still end up paying more taxes because the property values have
Gone
gone up. And why have they gone up is like the original question. So property values had been going up steadily 3, 4, 5% year over year. But during coronavirus, and as you remember, none of us knew what was happening. The federal government, they thought that we were going to go into a recession and into a crisis, and they lowered the interest rate, remember?
Yes.
It went all the way down to what, 2 point something
2%,
percent?
yeah.
And what happens with that low interest rate?
Your property goes down.
You're able to buy more, right? So people were buying real estate, which is a great thing to have because they don't have to pay high interest rates on their loan. So Florida has traditionally been, compared to other states, we have the no personal income taxes. So it's always been a tax haven for a lot of people. So they bought a
Right.
lot of properties. So what happens? Supply and demand. That they were buying it and the prices were increasing. We have people from out of the states, out of the country, purchasing a lot of properties. And at the office, we're bound by statute to go along with what the market is doing.
Right.
So we can't keep the properties low if the market is indicating that people are
Everything's going up.
wanting their
Right.
supply. Yes, that demand, that there's huge demand for it. So that's
I
how
see.
it goes.
No, and another point. I mean, when you think about it, for all the viewers, when you buy your home, that's part of your family legacy.
Yes,
So you want it to go up.
correct.
You don't want it to maintain the same because in 10 years, if your property hasn't gone up, then you can't use it to either retire on,
Mm-hmm.
because you build up equity.
Correct.
So as the property goes up in value, your equity gets bigger also. So then you're able to do more when you need it, if you need it.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
Correct. You have people thinking like, oh, I bought it in the 80s and I paid $100,000 or 200, and now it's $800,000. They like that because, like you said, they can take out equity.
Right.
It's their legacy. They can end up selling it and give their kids even more. How am I going to help them? Because there's that thing. There's a lot of exemptions that the people don't know about, other than the homestead, that they can actually use. Okay, that they can apply for, and also how to keep those exemptions. One of my main things in my platforms is to come to the communities and let them know how to avail themselves of those and what pitfalls to avoid. Because
Okay. Can you give us some of those exemptions now?
Going with that, a lot of people, in order to preserve the homestead or their property for their children, they put it on a trust.
Right.
If the trust doesn't have the correct verbiage, they end up losing that savings that they've had for years and years.
I'm going through that now.
See, so make sure that you have the correct verbiage, because if not, your assessed value goes to your market value.
Yeah. They took away my exemption, and now I'm fighting it. Everyone, what she's saying, I'm going through it right. Where were you, Marisol, when I was doing my trust?
I haven't been elected. That's why I need to get elected, Johnny.
Yes, I lost my homestead exemption. I found out like a month before the time was due. And so now I gotta wait till next year to be able to fix it. If they can fix it.
So then that's exactly the issue, and that's why I want to be proactive and speak with the real estate attorneys and with tax attorneys, with the financial consultants, to let their clients know about this exact verbiage that they need to do and the trust, because then you have to refile another trust or amend the trust in order to get correctly. But in the meantime, you're going through all this anxiety and all these issues of like losing it, and thank goodness you're a smart young man that can handle it. Can you imagine what happens to people that are older than that?
Yes, and just to give you an example, so the viewers, right? So what she's saying is that I'm getting to age. Yes, I know I look young, people, but I am getting to age, and me and my wife decided to put everything into trust, including the homes, right? So now the homestead that we had homestead exemption on with the house, we lost it because the verbiage wasn't correct in our trust. So now that exemption, believe it or not, was saving us almost $3,000.
Correct.
So now I have to pay out of pocket another $3,000 to taxes because I lost it, and I got to wait till next year to be able to refund. We're fixing it now, but we won't save that till next year. So I'm $3,000 less, which means a good vacation. It could be a lot of things. $3,000 can go a long way right now.
Correct. And people, again, is to preserve it to their kids. And then, because also the people don't understand the difference between like the market value and the assessed value. So the assessed value, according to our Florida Constitution, can only go up 3% per year. But in the meantime, you have the Save Our Homes, and you're creating a differential between the market and the assessed value that saves you so much money. In the meantime, like you're saying, once you lose that, then it goes to market and you end up paying more. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about is the portability. We're able to, let's say, same situation, you decide to sell your house because you're moving somewhere else, because you want to scale down, and you can port up to $500,000 of that cap saving to your new home to lower that property value, that taxable value. Yes. Yes, so they changed the law. And all of this is constitutional. So all the counties and the states are bound by that. So
Right.
you can port is what it calls. It's called portability.
Portability.
Yes, to move it to your new home. So all those things we need to be an property appraiser that's engaged with the community to bring that information forward.
Wow. No, no, and you're right. That's one of the things I'm always fighting with a lot of the organizations and offices, that they need to be a little more proactive in educating the community on different programs, on things that are out there, because there's a lot of things out there that can help you, but if you don't know, how
Right.
you can apply. So you being proactive and plan to have these roundtables to in the communities to let them know that these are the things they can do to that will help them save extra money.
Correct.
And if, like you said, if they plan to go somewhere else, they can port $500,000 of that over to the next home. That's going to save you a lot of money, because then you don't have to pay the taxes again on that when you buy the
Correct.
home. Which is what
Correct.
people don't understand, that when you buy the home, those taxes that you're paying on it, if you can save $500,000 of taxes, it starts adding up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So also like with when somebody, a younger person is buying a house or something, a lot of times the realtors or maybe the person is so excited about buying the new house that they don't realize that it's going to get reassessed, the property. So the properties get reassessed every time there's a change in title.
okay,
Okay. So when you're purchasing it, you're changing the title. So the taxes and the assessed value that person had accrued all that time,
right.
those taxes were really low. Now you come in and buy it at a double the purchase price, the taxes are going to go up to this one, to the new value.
So can we keep it to the next one? No.
No, you cannot,
No?
because you're changing the title. You're changing the
Uh,
name and the title. So
okay.
all of those things, I've had a younger couple, like I said, that they didn't know that was going to happen, and a lot of times also, in order to make the loans, some numbers are tweaked to make
Right.
it through, because if they do it based on the correct taxes, the person won't qualify for the loan. So, but then they
Uh,
get hit the next time, the next cycle, and the next taxing cycle.
They're like, oh my
Because
God, my taxes. Okay.
correct.
So I understand this. We're gonna go to property appraisal 101.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, I'm looking for a house, and I see, I'm looking at the tax bill, because all this is public record. You go on Miami-Dade Property Search,
Hmm.
and you can see what the taxes are, what they paid, and so on. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh wow, they're selling this house, and the taxes are low. But what I don't know now is that once I buy the house for the new price, that won't that's not going to be the number anymore. It's going to be
Correct.
to the new number that I bought.
Correct.
So my taxes will be going up. And if I'm not aware of this, and like you said, a lot of times the sellers don't tell you this, because then you might back out of the deal.
Correct.
So then you buy this home, then you're going to pay taxes at this amount, and that's not the idea. Now it's the new amount, and then you start off going crazy, because now you got to come up with this money, so your house don't end up on a tax deed section.
That's exactly right. And something so at the property appraiser's website, we have a tax estimator tab,
Right.
in which you can put in the purchase price, okay, the value that you expect to pay.
And you get a more or
then
less what you're going to pay.
Right. And then you get an estimate of what you're going to pay.
Okay.
But it's like that's not as exciting as seems like, oh, their taxes are really low. Another thing, Johnny, we have a lot of people that live in their condominiums or in a complex, and actually the neighbors go clicking each property at a time.
Right.
It's like, oh, why am I paying more taxes than my neighbor 2 doors down? And they don't realize that there might be a lot of exemptions that neighbor has,
Right.
and that there might be, they bought it at a different time, so they've been accruing those cap savings, versus you that just started about a year or 2 years ago. And that's the differences.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I want to talk to you about, being the youth property appraiser. A while back, when people know that I had ran for state, okay, and for commission. But one of my things that I wanted to do, and the current property appraiser, he when we talked, he said it was a great idea, and he said that it could be done. And that's basically this. I want to see where, if you're retired already and you own your own home, okay, that the tax on that be capped, be frozen for as long as you stay there. Okay. The way I'm understood is that won't hurt any of the income coming into the county, because I know the county collects taxes and they do the budget on that. Because no matter what goes around you, if that keeps coming up, they're still collecting. Only you won't be paying the higher. You'll stay at where you're at until you sell your house or you pass away. Once it doesn't become yours anymore, then now that becomes to the current tax bracket that you're at now. Is this something that you think could be done also, or has anybody approached you about that?
So, if when you become legislator at the Florida House or Senate, that will be something to move towards to.
Right.
Because currently there's been many times that they've put in legislation for increasing the homestead. Not exactly what you're saying, but increasing the homestead,
Right.
which ends up being sort of similar to what you're saying, because you're capping it or you're giving more breaks to the owners, right? Which
Right.
is what we want. We don't want owners to pay, or renters to pay more than they have to. However, because everything is followed by statute and it's for the entire state, there's a lot of pushback from legislators from other counties that are very small, and they
Right.
don't have the big taxable value that we have. Right now, there was a bill, and that died in committee because of that, because there's 27 cash-strapped counties that the state has to help, because they're already losing money from having the homestead exemptions that we have. So that's not usually that popular, so it doesn't advance. But now we have an amendment number 5 in the ballot for now in November. Those people that have their ballot already, they can see it, and it's calling for an increase in homestead for the inflation. So we have two $25,000 homestead. For the second one, that it will be adjusted for the inflation, for the CPI. Right now,
Okay.
8% or that it is. So they will get an additional tax break there. If the voters, if more than 60% of the voters approve it, then it goes to the Constitution and it applies.
But is it something that we could do county, like per county, if we would do something like that?
Yeah.
'Cause I understand that there's other counties that don't have
Correct.
the influx of money that we have. That's why they call us a donor county.
County, right.
Because, the money that we give to the state, so everybody knows, we don't get back that same amount of money in help. A lot of it goes to those counties that can't, cover their own bills, which, that's a whole other story. Maybe another good show, but yeah, so I get it. But county, within our county, is there something we can do?
Yes, and there's so many things that can be done at a local level, and that was something that I definitely plan on doing, because then we don't need the rest of the counties to change the Florida Constitution.
Correct.
To all of that. Well, you remember, I think it was about 2 years ago, the mayor sent seniors that didn't qualify for one of the senior exemptions, $617.
Right.
And that was in Miami-Dade, and it was for a pool of X number of
seniors,
residents, right? So things like that. But then we will have to figure out where to get it from the budget. Again, it all goes back to the budget.
Our budget this year, it's more than some countries.
Yes. Well, it grew another $1 billion, I believe,
yeah,
right?
it's at 13 and change now.
Yep. 12, yeah, almost 13.
Yeah,
and last year was 12.
Yeah.
So we can see how increasing, and therefore,
$13 billion budget.
Almost
this county.
37% of the county budget comes from your real estate taxes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I'm curious because as owners and stuff, what's the chances of getting, like, you have your homestead for the people that own their own home, right? How about for the ones that have properties that they buy to help them retire?
Investors?
And investment properties. Can they get a break? Is there something that maybe we can do? Say, okay, well, we can't give you the homestead exemption, but maybe we can give you a certain other.
So right now they have the 10% cap, that their excess value cannot go more than 10% a year.
On investment property.
On investment properties, yes.
Okay. I didn't know that one.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yes, yes.
Okay.
On any second home, apartment, buildings, anything, on commercial properties, which is what
a lot of them
are. You cannot go, the assessed value cannot go up more than 10% per year. Another thing, Johnny, that I'll mention, we have also the Value Adjustment Board. okay? The
Hmm.
VAB, the VAB, that a lot of people don't know about it and don't avail themselves. You can actually challenge
Right, and go in
the
front of the board. I've
Yes,
done that.
yes, yes. As I say, you're an educated investor and a person, but a lot of people don't. They don't know that they can actually come to the office and contest. Maybe we have something that is wrong. Maybe we made a mistake somehow, and we can fix it and bring it lower. But they need to know that they can do this because
Yes.
one of the things that I would think of being an immigrant myself, we don't have these things in our countries,
No.
right? So we don't know. Like my mom doesn't know most of these things. She's made a bunch of mistakes
Yeah.
because she didn't know. But we need to educate our population so they can avail themselves and understand the system and what is there to help them.
No, 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 and just so people know, the VAB Value Adjustment Board are regular people that you can actually talk to. And I'm gonna give you my example. What happened was, we had the 5 acres up in Kendall, and it was still zoned agricultural,
Hmm.
AG. And every year we had to do it because being that they were building around, they kept trying to change it on us.
Okay.
So every time they changed it, we had to go back over there and go, look, we have these trees, we still have this, we had cows, ducks, sheep, everything, which we had to prove,
The use, uh-huh.
right? So we can keep getting it because they kept trying to change it on us. And the difference between agricultural and
And commercial. Hmm.
RU1 is a big difference.
Hmm.
So yeah, so we went every year and we fought it, and until we finally couldn't anymore, and then we replotted it. But yes, if you feel that they raised it unjustly, you can go.
Right.
Because this country is the best country we have. We can fight anything, and we have we just
That's
gotta,
right.
the means are there. You just gotta have the will to do it.
Yeah, and
Go
the
in front of the board.
understanding and the knowledge that
Yes,
there is.
yes,
So first, the first line of business would be like once you get your trim notice, your truth and millage, when third
right.
week in August, that you actually look at the proposed values and the proposed millage rates, and then you come to the office, you call us up, you make an appointment, and then we figure out if we can help you there, if we make a mistake or not. And if we don't agree or we don't come to an agreement, then you go to the value adjustment board between the time that is allowable.
That's great. Well, the time is counting down, Marisol. It was very exciting. I learned some new stuff here. Hopefully, the viewers got to learn some things too, and know that they can go out there and fight for their taxes, and that it's not you that's gonna make the taxes go higher.
Correct.
It's on the commission with the millage. You just set how much it costs. But yeah, and before I have you end it and tell us why we should vote for you, I just want to let all the voters know, like you had mentioned before, absentee ballots should be on your countertop
Yes.
or on your dining room table or on your nightstand, because I know that's where you have them at, viewers. Let's get them out. Let's fill them out and
Mhm.
vote. Okay. I'm not saying who you need to vote for or what party you need to vote for, because we are in a nonpartisan setting right now. But please vote. It's important. It's essential.
Yes.
We can't allow a certain amount of people to decide how we live and who does our taxes and who sets our values. So please make sure you vote. Make sure you sign and date. We have early voting comes on in another week or so.
The 21st.
On the 21st. So please come out and vote. Marisol, let us know how we can get a hold of you. Tell us why you're the best candidate and your number on the ballot.
Sure. Thank you for that, Johnny. Again, my name is Marisol Zenteno. I'm running for property appraiser. I am number 75 on your ballot. 75. Please vote for me because I am a professional appraiser. I've been doing this for over 35 years, with the last 10 years working at the office. So I'm ready on day one to help you as a taxpayer, and it will be my pleasure to serve you. Please vote for Marisol Zenteno. You can reach me at marisolzenteno.com or my cell phone number, 786-368-5166. Marisol Zenteno, an appraiser for the Office of the Property Appraiser. Thank
Well,
you.
there you have it, viewers. We have una dominicana, okay, that knows how we live, knows what it is,
Understands us.
understands number 75 on the ballot. So please don't forget. Thank you again. Thank you, viewers. It is Friday. Be safe. I hear we have a lot of rain coming this weekend.
Yes.
So if you're out there knocking on doors for the people that you want to support and stuff, please be careful. And thank you again. I will see you next week again. Stay safe. Stay frosty.
Thank you.